be shot down. Mayegun don't come. Mayegun the command of the masses. Mayegun don't come. Mayegun diary political. Mayegun don't come. This one not day of in mind. Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo dododo. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun today.
Good afternoon to you, good morning to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Thank you so much for joining me, and I apologize for starting late. It's been a busy day. So share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them, Mayegun today.
Mayegun diary political. Mayegun diary Godfatherism.
I have just one suit. This is my only suit. I only wear wear it on a very special occasion. Today, I got a special invite from the Biafrans in the UK who assembled in Edinburgh in Scotland. So I got invited. So I quickly look out for my suit. And then that's why.
Lórí Facebook. And yes, we like
now play, now joke yo. Somebody cannot play with you. That's exactly the reversal coming from Kolu Presidiot Kolu. Share this broadcast.
Yeah. And yes, we like Presidio Barufio. And yes, we like
I know my suit look white, but it's not white, it's gray. Thanks for the advice. In case if you have forgotten, today, the 30th of May, 2023, marks the beginning of the Presidential Election Tribunal, Petition Tribunal, which means how long, if Kolu is going to be your presidiot for 4 years, or if he's just going to be the first presidiot of Nigeria that will be kicked out by courts. The journey towards that has begun. Share this broadcast. Thank you. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Now, in order for this conversation to hit home properly, I'm going to advise you, just for the last time. If you haven't done that, fine. Apart from tagging your friends and not so friendly friends, please, if you have the following people on your social media handle, WhatsApp and the rest, copy the link of this broadcast from wherever you are watching from, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Copy the link and send it to them. The following people: the Buhari Danes, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ngozi Haris, the Nneka Haris, the sophisticated morons, ombud slaves, Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris. Those you know as political crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all risers that you know of, all the Sai barbarians, all their clan entirely, copy the link, intentionally send it to them. What you had the last time with Bokwari, a lot of people called it Shege. And now, others are now saying, what you are about to face is Shege Bansa. I know it's not something good. I know Bansa and Shege, combining them together means something really, really not good. But in order for you to enjoy, even though it's not really to enjoy anyway, but at least, in order for you to enjoy your moments with Mayegun tonight, the journey towards the chaos that is about to befall Nigeria, the trial and error that is about to face millions of people, the economy and the rest of what have you in Nigeria that is about to take it, you were pre-warned, put it that way. I mean, and as you probably should have observed right now, the blame game have already started. Yesterday, Kolu made a pronouncement. But before yesterday, he did tell you that he will hit the road. I've been at the ground, I've been at the floor running from day one. Now, this is where we're going to start from. Then we get to where we are now. Just few weeks ago.
In the first 100 to 200 days in office, what should citizens expect to see if you're elected as president, sir?
Day one, hit the ground running. Day two, continue running. Day three, don't rest. No matter how long you protest, we are going to remove subsidy. That is the truth. That is the truth. Unless you don't, and I'm going to win this election.
He what? He pre-warned you. Now, let me explain this subsidy to you so that at least you understand it and the ripple effect of it, the fraud behind it, and then you can then possibly, maybe, quickly agree that Nigeria is fucked. Kinimowi, did you hear that? By the time I finish explaining this subsidy thing to you and the fraud around it, in just a few minutes, you kind of easily conclude that Nigeria is what? Fucked. Sorry if you have a kids around. You can, I'm going to use fluffed next time, okay? When I say Nigeria is fluffed, you know what I mean, Abi? In case if you have kids around. Subsidy is what the government of Nigeria pay on PMS. That is a petrol. Because Nigeria has one of the biggest oil producers in the world, is also the only country, oil producing country in the world that doesn't refine its own crude. The only one that produces crude oil and then imports refined products. So it is an avenue opened for political, sort of the political boys, job for the boys. But they became so greedy. Now, what were they doing? The slots to bring petrol to Nigeria and all those stuff, right? Now, when you hear the word subsidy, Subsidy just simply means subsidizing something in order to reduce the cost of it. Put it this way. Nigeria government is paying subsidy on so many things. Majority of them, luxury stuffs that serves the interest of the same elite. But in all the subsidy Nigeria is paying, for example, they pay dollar subsidy for some people. They say, oh, go and import so and so. So instead of you to buy your own dollar for so price, they will subsidize it for you. For example, 500 naira to $1 for everyone. Or when it's subsidized for you in particular, you can get it for 100 naira to $1. So do you see that difference? 400 naira. That is the subsidy. So the government will say, we will pay that difference. Go over there and pay 100 naira per dollar. Once they give you that paper, you just walk to the central bank. They will give you that dollar, any amount you want at that rate. That's subsidy. But it's limited to some certain people and businesses in Nigeria. Here you get. Now, paying subsidy on petrol is an avenue, like I said, for the government to say, hey, guys, a liter of petrol, according to these marketers, is going to be 700 naira per liter. But we have subsidized it. We will be paying 500 naira on your behalf, so that the marketers will be paid the 500 naira difference. So every time you go to filling station and they sell a liter of petrol to you for 200 naira. So every liter you buy, government of Nigeria has paid the difference. So I use that example because that is what is about to hit you. That's what has already hit Nigeria now. So what they have done is that they became so greedy. They started falsifying figures as usual. You know, when they need one single piece of red cloth. But by the time it is Nigeria, they will write this piece of cloth, which is $1 per one. When it gets to Nigeria, they need just 5. So with $5 budgeted for red cloth. No, in Nigeria, this red cloth will come in as first $100. That's times 100 of its price. Now they needed just 5, Abby. The budget will come out with, they need 5,000 of it. So by the time the budget that will come out for red cloth, ordinary piece of cloth, by the time the budget will come out, you'll be seeing $1.8 million or 5 billion naira, 7 billion, 50 billion. Do you get that? So this is exactly what happened to the subsidy. Who is paying subsidy? The NNPC of Nigeria. NNPC is in charge of taking the oil royalty from the oil companies that are extracting your crude oil. So when they do that and they give them their share, it goes to the NNPC, mostly in dollars. Now, when these criminals came in, the highest Nigeria paid for subsidy in a single year was 750 billion naira. But the moment these criminals came in, at first, they first put in June 2015, they put in a supplementary budget of 600 billion naira to pay for subsidy in 2015, just for 6 or 7 months. That was the beginning. Afterward, they started increasing the figure. And the more you increase the figure, for example, if you say, oh, the landing cost right now is 700 naira. Because of the fraud, the new fraudulent thing they opened up, right? They will just take in the whole quotation, and they will pay them. Because once they pay them, they take the kickback within the NNPC. Well, they issue the licenses of importation to these guys anyway. You don't pick that from the street. You don't walk in and say, I want to be importing refined petrol to Nigeria. You don't get that just like that. You know that. So they are their boys. So the whole kickback then started from increasing the numbers of how much liter of petrol Nigerians are using, how many cars, how many engines, how many of Nigerian system running on the petrol. So what happened next? They snowballed it. Nigeria now became broke. How did Nigeria become broke? They opened up another verse of crude oil stealing. They called it, what they call that thing again? No? You remember, as these criminals came in, 700,000 barrels of Nigeria crude oil is lost to oil theft. And listen, thousands of crude oil, hundreds of thousands of crude oil, or barrels of crude oil, that will require a massive vessel to load, and it will take weeks to actually load it up. They can't be stealing that from you every day without the government noticing. So like a magic, the Nigeria revenue from crude oil sale also dwindled. So as Nigeria crude oil sale dwindled, money from selling crude oil dwindled, reduced drastically, the money Nigeria is spending on subsidy increased exponentially. Today, Nigeria, according to this criminal, Nigeria is spending 400 billion naira every month. Nigeria will be spending over 5 trillion naira on subsidy every year. So it's unsustainable. You know why? Nigeria has no money. So things got so bad, right? Every time they call, the NNPC gets paid, the money from crude oil sale, they will just pay the oil marketers, and there will be no money to share. Do you remember the time a space of almost 4 years that they said NNPC in Nigeria remitted zero? Like they didn't sell any crude oil at all for 5 years under Bokwari. It's because any amount that they got from that little sale, they just hand them over to their boys. Now that's what they have done. So now it now got so bad that the money from crude oil sale and all of that could no longer cover subsidy. I mean, like I said, they've grown so greedy. Nigeria started borrowing money to pay for subsidy. Nigeria will write budgets, and Nigeria will say they are borrowing so money, this particular one for subsidy. Nigeria internally generated revenue dwindled so much that Nigeria became so indebted that 98% of Nigeria total revenue every year goes into repayment or servicing of a debt. So they opened this bottomless hole of subsidy that they once called was a scam. Meanwhile, Nigerians continue to pay. Now Nigerians pay almost a triple of what they used to pay before these criminals come in. So when Kolu was on that stage and he said, subsidy is gone, here is the problem. When they say subsidy is gone, and sometimes some of you feel like, but if they stop paying subsidy, that 5 trillion, they can put it towards, there is no 5 trillion. That's the problem. Whether they keep subsidy or they remove subsidy, Nigeria is flushed. There is no 5 million to divide to anything. It has gotten so bad that the last 2 years, Bokwari's government, they were borrowing money to pay for subsidy. So every time you went to that filling station, according to Bokwari, they were paying over 400 naira on your behalf. You go station now, you buy 5 liters of petrol, 1,000 naira, 200 naira per liter. You are angry. This country. But to Bokwari and his friends, they have paid 400 times 5, 2,000. So you paid 1,000, but they have paid almost 2,000 on your behalf, according to them. So there is no money being paid. They just put Nigeria on auction. Here you get. And all they have been doing is marketing this contraption to anybody who is ready to part with money or anything. That's what they have made Nigeria. So they will just turn it and say, look at it, it's beautiful from this side. Say, how much? 3 billion. What do you want to use the 3 billion for? We want to build a rail line to Maradi in Niger Republic. So what are you going to give us? What are we going to get in return? Anything you want. Look at us now. This is Nigeria. Look at it. Don't look at this side. That side is bad. Look at this side. That's exactly what they have been doing. There is no money. You got that? Auntie Tinubu knows that. 2 nights ago. Yeah? 2 nights ago. Or should I say 2 days ago? We saw those who were singing, on your mandate, we shall stand on your mandate. They didn't bargain for this. Because you see the effect of that subsidy? Now, the fraud, should I put it this way? There is nobody they are actually paying any subsidy to, per se. If they come clean and cut out all of the, all the dubious increase, you will realize that Nigeria is not paying any subsidy anymore. Here you get. If you walk straight into any filling station and you are paying 200 naira, 180 naira, 300 naira, or whatever price you come across, these are the prices from those who are bringing the, okay. Now, if that argument is somehow kind of confusing, right? Let's go the other route. Kalu knows that the moment you say something about petroleum in Nigeria without preparing for the effects of what that announcement is going to be, as those who are in charge of your government are greedy, corrupt, and selfish, so are those oil marketers who have found their kind of, happiness, comfort in a corrupt system like that of Nigeria, where they could collude in robbing every one of you, including if businesses have to die. So Kalu, that was to hit the ground running day one, didn't consider what it meant for those who probably should still be in celebration mood. The new government and this, to be gisting about it and be hoping, like they are saying, renewed hope. That same day that Kalu made this statement, no provision for it. Subsidy is gone. Bokwari budgeted 5 trillion naira for subsidy in 2023 budget that National Assembly, Robert Stamp Lawan, approved. So what happened to the 2023 budget of 20.5 trillion or so? Okay. Now, after making these statements, we're going to go and see what happened.
Subsidy. Unfortunate. The budget that I've glimpsed before I assume office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone. Subsidy can no longer justify an ever increasing cost in the wake of dry resources. We shall instead channel whatever to fund.
There was no consultation, there was no conversation, there was no pre-warning. Even Bokwari tried all tricks He went on to go and borrow $800 million from the World Bank that they said they wanted to share to all of you so that by the 1st of June, subsidy will be gone. And you can walk into a filling station. A liter of petrol will be from 600 naira upward, 700, 1,000. It could be any. And others said the more people bring in their own product into Nigeria, the price will begin to crash. Because when nobody is paying any subsidy, initially, they were clapping that Dangote refinery, another GBT, that it won't take time before you will see what they have done to you. Oh dear, you will find out. Oh, body go tell everybody. Right now, there is no filling station where once you show them your APC, membership card, they will say, a lot of you are very used to suffering and smiling. Oh, it's just that it's so unfortunate that Olori Bruku Tonkoshi Bero. Now, you kind of won't be the only people that will have to face this. Like you will say, we need to sacrifice. Yes, subsidy must be gone. This and that and all of that. It's going to be gone. But you are all being treated same way, which means unnotified, no preparation, no support. Businesses will take it. A lot of you will lose your, a lot of you will lose your jobs this time around too. God will provide another job. Amen. I say amen to that for you. But are you really prepared for what is coming? Maybe not, maybe not. So, immediately after that statement, down the greedy, selfish, corrupt oil marketers in Nigeria, they switched their prices up. How is that? I mean, let's even say, currently, let's say Nigeria has removed subsidy, okay, and without notifying anybody or preparing nothing for anybody. Do you know that if the words of NNPC and those criminals were to be taken serious, Nigeria have currently they currently have oil supply that can last Nigeria for another 6 months. Are you listening? They said Nigeria has about, I don't know the number of the liters, but millions of liters of petrol imported already inside Nigeria. That if Nigeria doesn't import anything to Nigeria for the next 6 months, there should never be any fuel scarcity. But you know the greed, when the system is corrupt, every component of it will be corrupt too. And that is the problem, that we then have to endanger the lives, the living, the businesses of millions of you. Do you understand? So because if it is not corruption, in my own belief, every liter of petrol that is currently in Nigeria, at least they did not import another petrol overnight now. Sure you get? Filling stations that have their own petrol right now. Yesterday, they have their petrol. They were selling it 180, 167, 187. Then Tinubu made that announcement in his speech, subsidy is gone, which means they won't pay again. But every fuel in Nigeria right now is believed to have been subsidized. At least when you import fuel to Nigeria, you have to declare it to the federal government of Nigeria. The amount you imported, how much it costs you, then they will then pay you the difference. Then that is you. Then you can take your fuel into Nigeria, into your filling stations, and start selling at the agreed price with the government. Abi? So how come, because of the announcement, they switch on? I'm not joking, though. Take a look at this. Nigeria is unbelievable. See, in the midst of us trying to remind these people that elections have consequences, we must point these things out too. The inhumanity to the man's inhumanity to man. If Tinubu is irresponsible, of course, like Bokwari, the common sense thing is that at least the fuel that are still in Nigeria right now have been paid for. According, you know, they borrowed money to pay for it too. And the difference, according to what I've been told, is over 400 naira per liter. So every liter of fuel you see in every filling station in Nigeria has been paid for, has been subsidized. So it is a crime to change your price overnight. But it's not new. That's what they do for Nigeria. It's not new, but it is a criminal act. Because are they going to refund back to Nigeria the subsidy they got paid? I mean, they were supposed to actually be the one to say, well, you know what? Based on the announcement of the federal government of Nigeria, the price of petroleum in our filling stations across Nigeria will increase. Also, I mean, at the end of once we finish selling all the supplies we have right now, our prices will change, and we will let our customers know what the new prices will be. Is that not the responsible thing that businesses should do? But Nigeria is a contraption. Dog eat dog. And it is always an opportunity to chance themselves. And it's so sad, yeah, that's exactly what the entire system is all about. And you, the Nigerians, trapped within it. And it becomes what? A rat race. That's exactly what Nigeria has made many of you. They made life a rat race for you. And guess those who run a rat race? Rats. That's exactly what they have made Nigerians. Rats. In their own country. Everyone is like, then it will now take the intervention of threats. We are going to lock your station. We are going to, at the end of the day, people will just have to live with it. A lawless place where anything goes, unfortunately. I mean, but look at it today. Everybody is out there, 600 naira per liter, 350 naira per liter. Those who bought theirs for 350 naira per liter, they are happy because when they hear that others are paying 600 naira per liter. So today, hey, I thank God, at least me, I still buy them for 350. I have already bought 50 liters. I've kept 50 liters for myself so that before everything, is happy. So it's not that concerned. The one that paid 600 naira, by the time you hear that another person paid 800 naira, that one will be like, man, I still thank God, though. For my area, now 650 with the buy ammo. For instead of them to see what they have done to you, they are going to learn how to get used to it. And that is why Kalu said, if you like protest, we will remove it. And everybody will form the line. As usual, see them catching cruise already.
Fellow Nigerians, we are still celebrating our new president. Today is the first day in office. As you can see, Nigerians are gathered in the filling station to celebrate our new president. We are celebrating. Don't matter. We are queuing to buy fuel because we are celebrating. We like to queue. This is our hobby. We love to queue, and we are enjoying it. We are. You can see the cars. First day in office, we are celebrating.
I told you, they're already catching cruise. By the time you ask them how much they are buying the fuel there, they're happy that they're actually seeing it. And they're going to get used to that. I'm still coming to that of Dangote because you need to understand the fraud too. I've done something on that before. This is the moment you are going to understand it better. Here you get. They will adjust. So immediately that happened, there are queues, traffic here and there, where people are trying to figure it out. Yesterday was public holiday. Today, people were supposed to go back to their works and businesses. And they woke up, they went to bed with that. What will happen tomorrow? What are they saying? What's going to happen now? Is it that we are going to, they have no clue. And it was like that on the road, I mean, on the street. Let me see if I still have that one here. Check this one. So expectedly, transportation fare skyrocketed. The journey of 1,000 naira in this worst thing that people have been going through before yesterday, that they are already kind of, you know, suffering from 22.7% inflation. Or more, that thing jumped to 270% inflation in their lives over, I mean, in minutes. The journey of 1,000 naira is now going to be around the 4,000 naira, 5,000 naira. Nothing else changes other than this. I mean, nothing else changes. Even the insensitivity of APC remains. Nothing changes. Nothing shows that, okay, you don't get Bulaba, Balabulu, and something kind of different. Life is still hard. Imagine a day after your new government coming in, and this is your life. That's for those who finally got a downfall after hours of waiting without any. So life kind of feels like it is not a renewed hope. It is a renewed suffering. Shege Banza. Shege Banza. Sad, isn't it? Now, NNPC is out to do their normal human job. We are on it. We are working on it. We will make sure that, no. Now, you know what they are saying? We are going to go after any filling station that sells a liter of petrol more than 210 naira. When did you announce 210 naira? I mean, hello? I thought it was like officially 167 naira. No? Somebody said, Mayegun lato jowo. Since when? 167k. Since when, Mayegun? Really? I didn't know that you've been moved to 210 naira. How come I didn't know that? Anyway, here is what the NNPC is saying. In case if you don't understand it in English.
We welcome the decision of Mr. President to announce that subsidy on PMS is over. And this has really been a major challenge for NNPC's continued operation. We have been funding the subsidy from the cash flow of the NNPC since government is unable to defray the cost of subsidy that is due to the corporation. And we believe that this will free resources for the NNPC to continue to do the great works that this company will do for our country, and it allows us to continue to function as a very commercial entity. And we welcome this development. Secondly, we would like to assure Nigerians that we have sufficient supply of petroleum products, particularly petroleum motor spirit in our country, and there is no reason to panic. We understand people will be scared of potential changes to price of petrol, but that is not enough for people to rush to fuel stations to buy more than what they need. But we are also assured that, we are watching all the distribution networks and support facility. We believe that this normalcy will be restored very soon.
That's it. But that's you. It's simple. It's like somebody giving you middle finger. Now let me tell you the background of the new NNPC. In case a lot of you, the older folks, you still have that picture of the old NNPC in your head. The Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, be NNPC. No. That Bukwari they've changed that. They have privatized NNPC. They privatized a national regulatory body, the body that should be in charge of the oil industry in Nigeria, regulating and making sure that the best practices are being put in place. Today, they now appear as like NNPC, Northern People's Corporation. So they've sold shares that people are now buying shares to join NNPC Corporation. Now, the same NNPC that has been privatized is still the one selling Nigeria crude oil, collecting the money on behalf of Nigeria, the constitutional role that is actually given to it before Bukwari privatized it. So, you're on your own. Yeah, that's exactly what he said. You will be on your own because according to me, it's saying that Mr. President announced something doesn't mean that the marketers should now increase the price and all of that. We are going to make sure that we, blah, 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 story. So I think when people started react, hang on. That's just that, because, that's not that, The increase in that petroleum price at first, their announcement already sent the usual reactionary wave down to the rest of Nigeria. Some fuel stations, oil companies, they were already closing shops, pretending that they have no single oil, which is going to increase scarcity as well as queues. Those who opened their doors have increased the prices. Somehow, the old, the old system is already choking. Now, the everyday life has already been automatically affected. So, as the price of petroleum is changing, even if it's on speculation, the price of your commodities, food, and other things are going to take a serious batch too. And this is why they said there will be so many things to consider. Dangote refinery is expected to come alive and produce its first petrol by the end of July. Not even June, end of July. So you are being prepared when Dangote will now come as the savior with 500 naira per liter petrol. By then, you probably would have been hovering between 500, 800, 700, and it will just come in as your hero and give it to you at a price that will sound like, remember, there is no subsidy. I don't think so. You will even pay more with that of Dangote. And I think that is where what I had in my mind when I was watching Kolu yesterday came back again. I'll tell you. Kolu knows that Nigerians are so poor. A lot of you don't understand when they say Nigerians are poor. Nigerians have gotten to a stage that, listen to this, they say only 3.8 million Nigerians have the capacity to spend $10 a whole day. You'll be rich man. If every day, probably you pay for this, you pay for that. How much is $10? That should be 7,000 naira. Abi? So if you are spending 7,000 naira every day, it simply means you have at least $300. So if you multiply all of that, that's like you have 22,000 naira or 20,000 naira in a month. No, I'm gonna 200,000 rather. 200,000 naira in a month. Only 3.8 million Nigerians can actually live like that. And that includes your billionaires, your multimillionaires, your politicians, your pastorpreneurs, and then your sheikh and the rest of them. But guess where the rest of us are, who cannot afford that $10, 7,000 naira every day expenses. We are in the majority. Remove 4 million. 4 million. Remove 4 million from 210 million. 205 million Nigerians cannot afford $10 a day. You can begin to cut it down, no? Now, when you now look at the existence of 22.7% inflation as official, then you understand that Nigerians are poor. Nigerians can't pay for electricity. Nigeria can't pay for a lot of things because they have been made poorer. That is the number. And that should scare you in this, what do you call it? So they started asking people to be nice. They started asking the oil marketers to be nice. Again, you are on your own. Sanwo-Iku came out earlier to say this, just so you know.
Well, on cues, I think it's too early in the day for people to begin to second guess our new president. You know, this was a pronouncement, and I think it's unfair on all of our, major marketers to want to begin, to seize, opportunity in areas where it's not. I mean, we all need to be sincere in this country. If we really want to get things done, let us know that, yes, we might need to belt up a little bit, but it's really so that we have a better life down the line. There's nothing that has changed in our pronouncement that will have caused, But hey, I'm sure the federal government that we have will be able to rise up to it and be able to deal with it. So I want to encourage everyone to be law-abiding, to go about their normal business, and things will certainly turn out for us.
You go about your normal business when you can't even drive yourself to anywhere. So what that simply means again is you are on your own. You are. However, Kolu then came out today. Somebody said, have you seen him? Mayegun, have you seen Kolu today? Don't say that he came out. I said he came out today. I'll show you. I'll show you. Don't rush. So for those of us who have been here for almost an hour now, can I ask you for a favor? A quick one. Right. So take a moment and leave that comment section, right? And go under this broadcast and just like it. You see it under. It's like that. So, for example, we are currently over 3,000 of us on YouTube, over 400 of us on Facebook, and quite a handful number of us elsewhere too. So if all of us on YouTube enough decide to drop your offering, which is like that broadcast, it will give it what you call the spread that it needs. If you are enjoying this, you can share it and let others see it too by liking it. So thank you. Now, I saw Kolu today. I'll show you. So they said day one. He didn't run or reach ground running. His pronouncement has already sent many of you on long trekking. And there are other things that are also going to follow. So when he came out today, it's gotten a new videographer and all that. So now I'll show you. When they said Kolu resumed office day one. Check him out.